Slay the Spire is a roguelike deck-building game that's available on all platforms, and this month it will also be released on iOS and Android. This video will give new players an introduction to the game, some basic knowledge, and tips. To start, there are 4 different characters and each have their own set of cards. To unlock Silence, you must first beat the game with Ironclad, which is a starting class. To unlock Defect, you can just beat one enemy with the Assailant and abandon the run. Then there's the Daily Climb, which includes many modifiers and it refreshes every day. And finally, there's the Custom mode, which allows the player to choose any number of custom modifiers, including daily modifiers, to their run. Let's go back to the card library. So as mentioned before, each class has their own set of cards. This is for the Ironclad, Silent, Defect, and Watcher. For colorless cards, they can be used by all classes. Curses are just a debuff that you want to avoid while climbing the tower. And then there's Relics, which are permanent items that provide a passive bonus for the rest of the run. Most relics can be used by all classes. However, there are some class-restricted relics. Lastly, there's potions, which again could be used by all classes, but there are class-restricted potions. Potions grant effects for one battle only, so it goes away after you finish the fight. Now in game, there are 3 maps in total, which is differentiated by Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. This is Act 1. Each act has their own specific monsters, bosses, and events. Each act has one boss that you have to face, but the boss that you'll be facing is random and there are 3 different kinds of bosses for each act. For elites, which are harder monsters to kill, they also have 3 different kinds each act. One tip is that the same elite will never show up in succession. So say you just fought a sentry over here. The next elite would not be a sentry. Now, there's going to be some minor spoilers ahead, so if you don't like that, I suggest you click off the video and complete a run first. After you finish the entire run with a class, you unlock Ascension, which is essentially just a harder version of the original run. Ascension gets harder as you win, and it goes from Ascension 1 all the way to 20. Each Ascension has its own kind of modifier, as you can see here at the bottom. Lastly, there's actually another map after Act 3, and obviously it's called Act 4. To unlock Act 4, you first have to complete the game with Ironclad, Silent, and Defect. Afterwards, when you start a new run, you'll see the Zelda kind of symbol right over here on the left corner. And to complete it, you need to do 3 specific actions in no particular order. Defeat a special elite, which are essentially just elite with a flamer on them. After you defeat them, you'll get the green key. Recall from a campfire, so if you go to a campfire, you get this option, which lets you obtain the ruby key. And lastly, you can choose to get the green piece, the green key, instead of the relic in the chest over here. If you want to further improve your gameplay, there is a fandom for Slay the Spire, so familiarize yourself with the monster's actions. That's it for this video. Subscribe as I will be posting new guides and contents for Ironclad very soon.